John is going to share a story. John, I want you to share with them your experience in the Wednesday study when you got that dirty plate. So in Wednesday study, I gave out some Cane's chicken. And I had my own plates. And I put the Cane's chicken in the plates, but the people I gave the plate to didn't know the plate was dirty. So all they saw, because I had it on my table, all they saw was the chicken. So, of course, John was hungry. All he saw was the chicken. But when I gave him the plate, that's when he realized it was dirty. Now, here's why I'm saying this. Always find a place, and I'm talking about where you go to worship, where the person who's teaching, you know they've been praying and you know they've been thinking about you. Because they're going to give you some scenarios. They're going to do some things. And to them, it may be weird, like doing those plates. The Lord just gave me that. And then all of a sudden now, he experiences something totally different that I wasn't thinking about, where God will meet him where he is. Because so many people think you got to be in some special pope status for God to talk to you, which is not true at all. He actually loves talking to his children. What is he? He like what? He loves it. And some people, even in the Bible, they're saying, well, we know God don't hear sinners. That's a lie. Nobody could get saved if God didn't talk to them. So why am I saying that? Because you were created to live in a relationship with God, not to be in a religion. It's all about a relationship. Y'all do know that, right? Yes. Y'all know you get places in favor through relationships. Hello? Typically, anytime God wants to do something in your life, he's going to put somebody in your life. When the devil wants to do something in your life, he's going to try to put somebody in your life. So relationships matter. The whole system set up off what? Pastor, I don't believe that. I don't know why. You get to heaven based on a relationship. So relationships are extremely important. Why is that? Why is that important? Because there are a lot of Christians got a great relationship with God, but bad with people, which is impossible. If you have a great relationship with God, you're going to have a great relationship with people. Sometimes we can say we have a relationship because you can't see God. But by your horizontal relationships, that'll determine how tight you are with God. Because when you right with God, he says gangster stuff like, he'll make even if your ways please the Lord. Somebody say gangster moves.
Gangster moves.
Some of y'all don't know that God has gangster moves, right? I know you think that's just for the hood and for the mafia, but the mafia didn't come up with gangster moves. Or maybe, how about this? Or maybe this is better for you. God does boss moves. And I know some of y'all don't believe that, like boss moves. Whoever is your boss, there's a boss on top of that boss. Christians get all backwards about the election. Your boss over the president. Hello? I mean, all ruffled. The guys coming in my office, they say, oh man, I'm going crazy about this election. For what? Pray, do your homework, vote, and then let God be God. Can I tell you a secret? God knew who was going to be president before the election. Christians be shocked by stuff. Y'all got me? I know this surprised some of you all. Like y'all think when the current president-elect got elected and the votes, Christians think that's when it was decided. That's why I encourage you to read that book. That book is fascinating. I'm talking about the Bible. And the man stroked the pen, but God wrote the book. Stephen, very important to understand that. People who didn't even know that the scrolls that they were writing was going to be in the Bible. The Holy Spirit was causing them to write what they put. And how about, who in here have heard man wrote the Bible? Oh, come on, anybody? Right? How many, some of y'all thought? And you know what I find when people say man wrote the Bible? is when they read something they don't want to do. It becomes real convenient, right? Right? Abstain from fornication. Yeah, man wrote the Bible. Yeah. Give a tithe. Yeah, you know, man wrote that Bible, man. No. I know man didn't decide what was going to be written. A human hand was used to write it, but the human hand didn't decide what they were going to write. Why is that important to know? If man had written it and God had allowed man to write it, man would not have put his flaws in it. Y'all know David would have never put anything about Bathsheba. David would have put it where she came to his palace. Yeah, David would have put in there, I was being a good king. And this old girl come on till she come prancing around my kingdom. And voila. That's what David would have wrote. Not God. God said, you're going to put that in there. Because I don't want anybody that's going to read this book thousands of years later to think any of you are superheroes. You just are people that have decided to yield your life to me through your flaws and your imperfection and still allow me to do something through your life, through your generation, even though you got some dirt on you too. Somebody say he's a good God. He's a good God. Now let's get to John. John, tell us about that play. Do you recall all of this? So
I do.
Because we call him Clean John. And we do that for a reason. There's anybody that's now officially in the Spirit Church, his name is officially Clean John. So when y'all see him out in the lobby, hello, Clean John. Y'all got it? He knows exactly what this is about. God called those things that be not as though they were. Y'all got it? Come on, John. Tell him about you sitting there, just a regular Kingdom Wednesday message, and you minding your business and mess around, I offer you some Cane's chicken. Take it from there.
All right, so even before that, on the parking lot, I struggled to come in because I just was dealing with me just not feeling good enough, like just looking at
Meaning on Wednesday, before you came into the service,
I sat on the lot,
sitting in the parking lot.
Sitting on the parking lot, contemplating leaving. I was hungry, actually, so I was like, well, I could go get some food. So I came in, I sat, and you made me sit up front. You mentioned sitting up front. So I sat up front, and I was quiet, and here comes Pastor with this delicious food talking about who's hungry. So I'm looking, and I'm like, man, I am a little hungry, but I don't necessarily know we can eat in here. But nonetheless, the chicken came, it was covered, the plate came, it was covered. And as I'm watching them prepare it, it looks good. But once I got the food, I did realize that the plate was dirty. And he was like, eat it. And we were like, no, not necessarily. I don't necessarily want to do that, Pastor. I don't know. But bigger than that, what I got from that was I'm dealing with relationship things in my family. And within dealing with it, it's so easy to see the clean chicken that you see. You see the delicious food and all of those things. But I was able to see that the dirty plate was more so my heart. So where I had the good food that I was putting out to my family and forcing it up on them, and then when they rebelled and they didn't want to eat it, then I would be mad at them like, what's going on? I don't understand. I didn't prepare this food. It's hot. It looks good. But I didn't realize that my heart, my spirit, my attitude was that filthy plate, and that these people had enough discernment to actually not want to eat off the ground and that dirty stuff. So I held that, and I stood up and I spoke on that, but the bigger thing was that I did not believe that my plate had been cleaned. Now, I've been through steps, I confessed, I've asked God to heal me, I went and got baptized, I've done a lot of great things to get my spirit to a better level, but at the same token, I still saw myself as dirty old John. So what's happening is I'm coming to these classes, I'm coming to the church, I'm making it 6 days a week, I'm in this spot. But in there, people are asking me things. Like I'm in the parenting class, I'm in the art of marriage class, and people are coming up to me and they're asking me stuff like, hey, you said something cool. And the whole time I'm like, you want to hear from dirty old John? Like, you know, I'm still not feeling as if, I'm still feeling like I'm that dirty plate. So within doing so, I talked to Pastor about that, and it was just a quick reminder. It's like, no, that thing had been clean, that I had been redeemed, but more so I needed to move within it. So then the whole Clean John thing came because it was very real. Like, I am a new creature. All of those things are behind me.
Thank you, Clean John. Come on. Give Clean John a hand, please. Come on. Yeah. Clean John. Can everybody say thanks, Clean John? Thanks, Clean John.